Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks. Somebody sent me this file. They told me how they drew it. But for the life of them, they can't get these. If you can see them on your screen, there's like an X pattern. When you get close up, they go away. And I've already helped him do this, but see, there's a little bit of line looking thing in there. And I think that's just a shadow. But we're going to draw this and fix that part because he told me how he did it. So let's just move this out of the way. And he started with let's just take a rectangle, hold down the square, hold down the control button, make it square, rotate it 45 degrees, control D, and while grabbing that X, hold down the control button and go straight down till it stops on that node. Then just take your virtual segment delete key and delete that line. This is the way I used to draw cubes back in the day. And I would draw one more. But that's all we need. I'm going to go ahead and delete these lines because we don't need them anymore. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and group that together so I can get rid of it. I'm going to use the same colors. And I'm going to go, bam, I'm smart filling those in. I'm going to go back to the center one. Get my interactive fill tool. I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to make them a little bit darker than his. Not too much. But I want that orange to kind of show through. Then what's cool about this, because they're going same direction, we could use the attribute eyedropper, and it worked pretty good. And I've already realized I just made a mistake. So we need to, I'm lost. Thought I started the, so I'm going to group this together. We need something to rotate it by. And thankfully, I can't remember if that's his or mine. Yeah, that's his. So I did a no-no. You know what we can do? I'm going to control C to copy that. And then I'm going to back up to where I had I should not have deleted those lines. Come on. There we go. Now I can actually paste and I can put this right back there because I need to rotate from that line. So I'm going to got that selected. I'm going to control D, alternate C. Well, I'm not going to alternate C because that would be the center of the page. I'm going to go from that node on the bottom of my rectangle. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. And you get that effect. I think years ago I made a object like this. But what he did, now this is a centerable item, so we can group it and hit P. Now what he did, he took some 2-point lines and hit P, and then Control D and rotate it 90 degrees. And he filled this in. Well, you know what I'm thinking to do? I was thinking that we would take the color away from there, but let's make this cavity just a little bit bigger. Let's change it to 0.01 and let's move this line over twice. I hit it twice and down twice. That made this joint bigger than the other joints. And now we're going to take the Smart Fill tool and we'll actually test this. Let me take my lines away. I'm just going to go ahead and delete them. I'm trusting this is going to work. Control D, alternate C, because I don't want to rotate from that degree. I want to go 90 degrees. And see, by doing that, I have no line there. So we're good to go. Now he used a gray. So we're going to get back to the interactive fill tool. And I'm going to put black on both ends. And of course, the orange is going to go away. But now I'm going to put a gray, kind of like right on the edge. Well, I might not be dark enough. That's pretty good. See, it looks like it's turning. You know, whenever you see these dots, it's because you have it selected. The dots aren't actually there. Make it a little bit darker. So bring this black in a little bit. I think that's about what he had. Then Control D, alternate C, and rotate it 90 degrees. That got rid. I was going to move these down, but then you would lose some white space back in there, and you'd be in the same. I'm sorry, but if y'all can hear that beeping, it's my thumb drive I keep hitting. I'm going to Control G to group it, and then I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and make it, I think he made it 6 inches. You know what? How come it's not square? Oh, it is square. I'm going to go ahead and make it 6 inches. And I'm going to move it up here, and I'm going to set my nudge factor on 6. Now, here, we're going to create another problem. Because if we move this over, now we're going to have a line between there. And for some reason, it looked like we had a red line. Control D and move it over. We're going to have a white line of some kind. I don't really like, let's see the line? I hope you can see the line. So we've done this in a lot of videos. I'm going to just nudge it 5.95 inches. And now you shouldn't be able to see the line. And then Control D. And because it's a square item, we're going to go Control D and go down now. I don't know what, see the difference of his lines? That's even at the same power of zoom out. You can see lines here. Can't see my line. There's really no lines here. So he did a good job there. But that's pretty cool. Now you could change the whole thing up. Well, let's just use mine. And let's go ahead and group this together. Control G and hit P. Hold down the Shift key and double click the rectangle. Of course, it's going to fill in all those other places. But make that rectangle black. Nudge it back over. Go to Object, Order, back a page. And see, that put black where there was white. Now, whether you want that or not, but what you could also do, since it's still, see, there's evidently a line. I'm going to take the line away. While this is still selected, even though it's behind there, we can get the interactive fill tool. Well, look, you can have grays and whites, but I was thinking about doing the elliptical. Try to get an elliptical. See, now you have a white one in the middle, grays on the outside, and black on the very outside. I don't know if anybody would want that, but you could actually, change it to a blue, and then make it a light blue on the outside. Who knows? I think it'd look better just all black or all white. So if we take away the black, you get white. There's that red line. Well, that's my box. Anyway, I don't know why I do that sometimes. I must hit a key that I don't know about. Anyway, how to get rid of the lines. That was a little bit simpler than I actually thought it was. Anyway, I hope that helped them a little bit. Thank you for watching.